To help you pre-plan your piece poster, I created a little brainstorming sheet for you. You can fill this out, and it should help you out, kind of make your plans for your piece poster that we're going to be working on in the next couple of days, probably a week. So the first thing I want you to do is list several interests that you might have. Some ideas that I had was sports or baking or reading or technology. Maybe art is your interest. Write that down. I think with this piece poster, if we incorporate more things that we have interest in, we're going to take more effort into the project itself. If you would, please think of 3 words that represent peace. Words that I might think of is love or respect. And I'm going to write those down because those might be helpful as well as kind of brainstorming what peace is going to look like or how we're going to illustrate that. I want you to also think about 4 symbols that represent peace. One symbol that I think of right away is the peace sign. Now, some 7th graders forget how to make a peace sign, so I'm just going to give you a reminder. It's a circle, a line from the top and the bottom, and an upside down V about halfway up. That's the peace symbol. And you might come up with many different symbols that represent peace. So I want you to draw those right here or write the words, whichever. What are some ways that people are diverse? And this is a real helpful one because you want to include all people when you're deciding how to draw your piece poster. So some of the things that you might think of: race, you might think of gender. This is what makes us diverse, these items right here. Our interests, so what we are interested in. You might see different ages in this world, different abilities, different religions, different sexual orientation, lots of differences in our world or diversities in our world. Brainstorm as many different diversities that you can think of. How are we different from one another? These will help out so that you can represent as many things in your piece poster as possible, as many different people as you possibly can. Down here on the bottom gives you kind of the ideas of how to brainstorm, how to develop your idea for your piece poster. So the suggestions I give are to first draw the symbols, some different symbols for your favorite activities. So we listed those up above. In this packet, you're going to have a place on the back where you would see the number 1 in a square. That's where you're going to draw symbols of activities that you like to be involved with. Number 2, go ahead and draw symbols that represent peace. 3, how can your favorite activities fit into peace? How can you make them incorporate together? Draw some ideas. Here's an example. An example would be a basketball with a peace sign, the basketball is turned into the world. Maybe you can incorporate your interest somehow. Number 4 says, draw symbols that represent different parts of the world. Different parts of the world such as the world itself. Maybe you see different flags or different people. Maybe you're thinking about the differences in people or foods or monuments around the world. Number 5, draw people that represent 3 different groups. So you might draw someone who is representing a certain race or a certain religion or a certain age. You can also draw just their faces or their silhouettes or their hands, something that represents the person. It doesn't have to be a full person. Of course, I'm going to ask you not to draw stick people on your final project, but when you're doing a thumbnail sketch, you can draw, well, stick people are not my favorite, but just to give an idea. All right, I'm sorry, we were interrupted there. We'll finish this up. Okay, draw a thumbnail sketch of what your poster will be. And let's just go over what a thumbnail sketch looks like. So when you're drawing a thumbnail sketch, it doesn't have to be very detailed. Like if I'm going to draw the world in the center here, and I want flags to kind of fly around it, I might draw something that looks like this. And I'm not even going to sit there and draw all my individual flags. I can make little notes. Like this would be flags. And this is going to be the world. And I'll draw those all up. Now on our final project, the poster itself, you're not allowed to add words. You have to explain all of your ideas through imagery. No words are involved. Also, I know that we talked about incorporating your interests. So if I'm an artist, possibly I would draw like a pencil in here, sketching the world out, or who knows what you guys are going to come up with. Now I know several of you are going to think that one of your interests is going to be hunting, and that's perfectly fine. I love that students like to hunt. And, but what you need to keep in mind is that anything that can't come into the art world or the school, the art room, it can't be incorporated in your picture. So that means no violence at all. You can't have any guns, and you can't have any bows and arrows in this image, and in art in general. If you want to represent hunting, you can certainly do that. You just would do that through nature. Maybe a duck or fishing, add some fish on there, or a deer. But that's one thing that you need to stay away from, and you need to stay away from words for your actual design. For your thumbnail sketch, of course, I'm just giving me reminders of what I was thinking in this particular spot.